guys, welcome to Revived Life Spa. We are with a client today and we're going to be looking at muscle mapping. Why do we use muscle mapping? Muscle mapping is used to locate and connect injuries together. Oftentimes you will hurt in one part of your body and think that that part of the body is where the injury is at. Sometimes that is true, but about 75% of the time it is not true. All of the X's that you see, these are all injuries, trigger point marks in the tissue. The dotted lines they're connected to other areas of the body. So we're going to go through today and I'm going to use muscle mapping as a source of referral so that you guys can actually begin to see what it looks like, how we locate injuries, how they're connected together. And this is part of the effective way that we lower pain. Now this is a technique that you'll only find at Revived Life Spa. No one in the bodywork industry that I've ever seen uses muscle mapping. What we do here. So here we go. We're going to be using cups. Client is going to inform me if the pressure is too much. We're going to be targeting cervical spine here. T2 and 3 there, T10 and 11 there. We're going to go ahead and catch the upper part of the glute. That's a little tender. Client's telling me, do we need to decrease this pressure? Okay, so we're going to come through, decrease some of that pressure. Is that okay? Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and release this opposite side over here within the erector spine group. Now for those of you that think that cupping just randomly occurs where you think that we just throw cups on someone's body, you are sadly mistaken. There are years and hours, thousands of hours of body work, muscle braille reading, anatomy that goes into cupping. Okay, we're going to catch this one over here. And we're going to catch trapezius over here. I'm strategically releasing those because what I'm looking at, some of these injuries are actually satellite trigger points for other injuries. We're going to release this cluster of 3 right here, and this is over the shoulder blade. So as you're watching this, if you are in pain, or you know someone who is in pain, or how about this, maybe you're going to medical professionals and no one can find out what's wrong with you. We actually hear that a lot. Clients come in and they're constantly seeking treatment, they're taking meds, they're going to physical therapy, they're doing a lot of things, but they never truly just get better. A lot of times that's because there is a root system of an injury that's active in your body, in your muscular system. And unless you get that root system out, your body can never truly begin to heal and recover from injuries. How do you get injured? You get injured through car wrecks, sports accidents, hobbies. Injuries come through hobbies. You get injured through birthing children. You get injured through falling out of tree houses. I mean, anytime there is impact with the soft tissue, tripping and falling, there's injuries that are occurred in that. I'm going to go ahead and release all right through here. This is a quadratus labortum. This muscle connects the hips to the rib cage. Some of you may ask, why cupping? You may think, well, this looks kind of painful. No, thank you. That's not for me. I will never do that. Here's what I would say. If you're already in pain and you live in pain every day, what do you have to lose? Absolutely nothing. Is some of the cupping painful? Yes. But the release is absolutely incredible. Okay, so we're going to move to the other side now. Becky, how are you doing?
Doing good.
You holding up okay?
Yes.
Good. Okay, so we're going to begin to work. This side over here is not her injured side. It looks like it. This side over here is the real injured side. Constantly she has pain and issues over here on the right-hand side. Okay, so we are going to begin cupping. I'm going to have to use some different techniques over here. So I'm going to trap this injury down here. But then what I'm going to have to do, Becky, I'm going to have to do just a little bit of cup dragging. A very, very small portion. So we're going to cup here. And I'm going to, this is like a bridge between these two injuries, and I need to tear that bridge up so it can heal. Release that injury and come back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good. Come back in over here. Is that pressure okay? Okay, we're going to catch these injuries here through L3, 4, and 5. The benefit of cupping is that cupping gets deep into the tissue. We're pulling into the tissue about 1.5 inches to 1.75 inches right now. So not only are we dealing with fascia tissue injuries, but we're also dealing with muscular injuries. A lot of these dots that you see, these are actually injuries that are chain linked together or connected. So we're releasing a lot of those. You could say in short, we're releasing shoulder pain, neck pain, hip pain, rib pain, all at the same time. Sounds hard to believe, huh, Becky?
Yeah.
But it works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This is not Becky's first time on the table. She's become very seasoned at this type of body work, and she's been seeing some amazing results from cupping and just from the medical body work altogether. Okay, we're going to catch these right here. One of the things we always do before cupping is we will check with you, the client, because we're very well aware that this is your body. And we always want to make sure that it's okay to cup. Was that one tender?
Yep. It just feels like it's pinching, tender.
Okay. Do we need to? Pinching is normal, but
Okay.
is it unbearable? You're okay? All right. We always want to make sure that cupping is okay, because sometimes there is maybe a special event that you're going to, or something where you don't want people to see cupping marks. We don't cup on the face, we don't cup on the neck, unless it's absolutely necessary, and we've talked about it in advance. release right here. Good. All right. Yeah, it fell off. We're going to catch right over that trigger point there. Now we're working the top of the scapula. So releasing shoulder blade. Going to cup just a little deeper here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can begin to see some cup marking coming out. These are basically toxins underneath the skin. Okay, we've got some injuries back here. You might think, why do you use the word injury? If you're using the word injury, shouldn't she be seeking medical attention? Well, she doesn't need medical attention for this type of injury. These injuries are basically, when you look at the word injury, medically speaking, an injury is insulted tissue. So we have insulted muscle tissue, fascia tissue. These injuries are basically parts of the tissue that are not happy. So because they're not happy, they're sad, they're insulted. Categorically, we refer to them as being injured. It just makes it much more simple, rather than trying to say, oh, well, you have tension here, and you have a taut muscle fiber there, and you have a contractual knot here. We're just going to use the term, it's injured. Makes it much simpler. You doing okay?
Yes.
All right. Okay, we're moving right along. Now keep in mind, you may see all these cups and you may think, that is like crazy. Never, 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 never would I do that. You have to realize that what we're accomplishing right here, this would be the equivalent of about 6.5 hours of medical body work. I mean, literally it would take us hours to go through and repair all of these injuries. The cups are able to do it in a very short period of time. The release that she'll get from this will last several weeks. Okay, I'm gonna have to pull this one up right here.
Yep.
I'm gonna come down just a little bit further and I'm gonna reattach this injury down. And we've got an adhesion band that comes all the way down through here, and we need to pull that up. An adhesion band, guys, is like a scar underneath the skin. Mild pressure. Going back and forth. I don't need to count down yet because Becky is doing really good. We've spent a lot of time with her on the table, so I know her threshold, I know her movement, I know when she twitches her finger, I know when she moves her feet. I can tell when she's uncomfortable by her breathing, and so she's perfectly fine right now. Now we're loosening up all of the skin, and we're just beginning to break down through the skin into the fascia or the connective tissue. So we're going to give her just a moment to kind of breathe and rest. She just gave me thumbs up, letting me know that she's doing good. The relationship and communication that we have with someone on the table is extremely high. We communicate all the time. Clients are letting me know how they're doing, what they're feeling, what they're noticing. This is a very engaged process. What we practice here at Revive Life Spa is evidence-based relational therapy. Evidence-based meaning everything we do, we are looking for changes in movement, changes in pain, changes in range of motion. We need to know that what we're doing makes a difference. Relational therapy, that part of it is basically meaning that we're going to bring you into what we're doing and helping you be part of it. This is a good example. Now, I've tightened down the pressure. I'm want to count down from 5. Are you doing okay?
It's more tender, yeah.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stopping.
I felt a little drier.
Felt a little drier. Okay. Yep, it did. So she's communicating with me that it felt a little dry. Some of that is the specialty lotion that we use had soaked into the tissue. The other part of that is underneath the tissue as we were breaking these adhesions open so blood and oxygen could rush in. She was feeling that also. Becky, we're going to count down one more time and then we'll be done with this section. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Okay. We got quite a bit out of that tissue there. Little tickle spot.
What I'm saying, yay.
Yay, oh, she was excited that we got that out. I thought we hit a ticklish spot. Okay, we're releasing those cups there. A few cups are already starting to release. This lets us know that some of what we're seeing, the tissue is already releasing enough. For those of you that are just logging on, you're wondering what in the world are you seeing. We're doing medical body work at Revive Life Spa. We're using a cupping method that we have perfected here. It's static cupping. You might see some of the markings underneath the cups and around the cups. This is a technique we use called muscle mapping, where we went through this tissue first and we located all the injuries, and then we go back in and we use negative pressure through cupping to begin to release these injuries. Now, as I'm removing the cups, one of the things that you might notice is the cup marking. These look like hickeys. Basically, this is where the negative pressure inside the cup has begun to pull toxins, waste, lactic acid out of the tissue. Blood rushes into the tissue, oxygen rushes into the tissue, and we accelerate healing by 75%. So guys, if you have injuries that have not healed, or you have a bummed shoulder that never gets better, or a hip that never gets better, or you have arthritis in the hands or the feet or the neck, or you have, we could keep going on and on and on. Let's say you have trouble breathing, you have trouble rotating, maybe you've got injuries in your rib cage. We can go in and do cupping and open all of that up so it can begin to heal. And this is what we're doing here. For those of you just watching, you might be asking yourself, why in the world would she do this? The reason Becky does this is because it has decreased her pain by about 75%. She moves better, she walks better, she feels better, she sleeps better. She's tried a lot of options to help her feel better, surgeries, and when she came to us, she wanted to know, can you help me? Can you please help me? And we began that journey with her, and she's been feeling better and better. And cupping like this is actually really relaxing. Are you feeling pretty relaxed today? Yeah. Some of the different styles of cupping that we use are a little more intense and a little more painful than others. But for what we're doing today, she's actually, her heart rate, if we were to measure her heart rate right now, her heart rate would be lower now than when she's asleep. The thing that I'm noticing as we go through this muscle tissue, and you can begin to see it, you can see how soft. When we first started with her today, it was real tight. When you went to, it just, nothing moved. And now we see a shoulder that's released. I mean, even you can see the whole shoulder has released. So this is why we do cupping. So we're going to proceed with removing the rest of these cups. And then we're going to end our session. We're going to end the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please remember that if you have any questions about what we're doing, please direct them to us. You can send them to us by message on the video that you're watching. We will be responding to those. You can also look at going ahead and calling us. You can send us an email. There's a lot of ways where we can answer your questions. I will say this, if you're troubled by what you see, this is truly a therapy that once you experience it, it makes perfect sense. That's about the best thing I could say. If you're in pain or you have discomfort, it's chronic, it hasn't gotten better, you should try cupping. Now there may be a couple of you that have said, well, I've tried cupping before and it just didn't work. Well, let me explain something to you that's happening. And I'll do that in just a moment because I've got to move over to this side. One of the things that a lot of practitioners and therapists face is cupping is becoming more and more known for sports injury recovery, for post-surgical recovery, and a lot of people want to do cupping. But what a lot of therapists don't want to do is they do not want to leave marks on people because they're afraid. They're afraid that someone's going to file a complaint or that they're going to think that they beat up one of their clients. Or cupping, honestly, guys, is something that either you do or you don't do. If you're going to go in and do it, go in deep, get the injuries out, and do it. If you just come in and you lightly put cups here and there, and you're like, okay, we did cupping, we're done. If you don't get deep into this tissue and release it, it will not release their pain. It will not increase range of motion. And honestly, a lot of practitioners and therapists, they're afraid to do deep cupping because of their reputation. They don't want their name on, what we do here at Revive. First of all, I'm not afraid because this changes people's lives. Every single day, we have clients and patients that leave here that have less pain. They've come in on crutches and have left not on crutches. They've come in slings they leave carrying the sling. The things that I could tell you about what happens from cupping is just amazing. One of the things that we do, we communicate clearly. Helping you understand what cupping is and what cupping is not is very important. And this is one of the reasons why we do so much educational training. That's actually one of the reasons you're watching this video today. My goal is to help you learn that cupping is safe, cupping is beneficial. These marks right here, these cupping marks over the next day and a half, these will be gone. Over the next 3 days, some of these will be gone. Over the next 5 to 7 days, these darker ones will be gone. And then they won't even be here anymore. But the range of motion, let me just get feedback from Becky. Becky, are you feeling better since we started cupping today?
Yeah, I can breathe. I'm not in pain.
Her pain has decreased and she can actually breathe better. She can breathe better because we're opening up her rib cage by releasing the muscle tissue around the ribs. We're going to release the rest of these cups. Guys, we do want to thank you for watching. We want to thank you for taking time out of your day to watch the work that we're doing. For all of you that are clients and patients, if any of you are watching the video and anyone asks any questions, feel free to answer because you've had it done and you fully understand what's being done. So thank you for helping answer any of those questions. What we're going to be doing now, we're just going to be flushing through the tissue, increasing lymphatic drainage, helping her relax. If you have any other information you would like, you can also go to our website at reviveforlifemassage.com. Please feel free to go to our Facebook at Revive Life Spa. You can like us if you have not. If you want to be really generous to us, go to your Facebook page, go to your Facebook, go to Revive Life Spa, go over to the community tab, and it will give you the ability to just invite your friends. That is something that we really appreciate, because there are friends that you have on social media that are in pain, that are struggling with range of motion, that have injuries that have not healed. So literally by helping share us with your friend network, you could be very well participating with changing someone's life. Guys, thank you so much for watching today. We look forward to seeing you again soon.